rebuilding confidence, and harmonizing with nature. With over 4 decades of changing lives, your self-discovery archaeologist, get ready to be the best of you with your host, Beverly Zeimet.
Welcome everyone to the Beverly Zeimet Show. Oh, we have a treat for you today, for sure. I've got a friend of mine over here, our guest speaker, and her name is Chelsea Lane Colley. You want to say hi, everybody?
Hello. Hello.
We're just so thrilled to have her here. So let me read a little bio so you have an understanding of who Chelsea is and what she's all about. Tell her story. It's a beautiful story. So Chelsea is the founder and CEO of Spread Love Speak Life. She'll share what that means. It's quite interesting. Whose vision is to elevate the world by the power of love. Chelsea is an entrepreneurial spirit which opens the doors to inspire and serve others through her community. Her mission is to empower 10,000 women to achieve the big dream by 2030. Yeah, so you get to be one of those first 10,000. Isn't that awesome? That is so awesome.
That's right.
Having had a traumatic experience at the age of 16, she found herself without a mother. Chelsea had the option to letting loss and heartbreak rule her destiny or find the power to rise above it. She chose to let her experience propel her forward in her mission of helping others. Chelsea's background is in hospitality and hotel management with an emphasis in sales and marketing. She's an event planner by nature, but Chelsea has executed countless intimate as well as large-scale events, and that's kind of how we met, was at an event. So that was that. Chelsea currently resides in Austin, Texas, and she's showing me around here. It's been an honor to be here for about a month and a half, and wow, Austin's a pretty great place.
Yeah.
So she's married. She has a little boy, Jackson, that's going to be a year here, in a couple weeks? Oh yeah. My gosh, where is the time going? Life is just beginning for this little guy. Chelsea's hobbies include live music, attending personal growth events, spending time with friends. She and her husband enjoy investing in real estate and renovating properties, and she has become unstoppable, and so can you. So with that, Chelsea, we're going to share with our audience the theme, right, is becoming, being that best you that you can be. And this is what Chelsea did at 16, not realizing, that actually chose to go out there to become that better her. And she had a roller coaster ride, as all of us have, but that's the learning process in becoming the greatest you that you can be. So Chelsea, just share a little bit about about your past and maybe aha moments. In your life and why you chose to be in the field that you did. Can you share that with the audience?
Okay. Okay, sure. All right. Well, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, so I grew up with my mom. I was an only child, and she was a single mom, so we spent a lot of time together. When I was 11 is when we moved from Kansas here to Austin. and we loved Austin. It was great. We met some people, and we started hanging out around a great group of people. Soon she fell in love with Chris, and her and Chris are just madly in love. For a few years, and when I was 16, there was just it was a horrible car accident, and they both died suddenly. Um, it was terrible, and I was left alone, and I had the option of just, letting sadness rule my life and pulling the covers over my head, or just choosing to continue to do all the things that my mom and I had planned on doing. So I just decided to keep moving forward, and I knew that if I could get through her death and to tell the story, then there was no stopping me, and there was nothing that I couldn't do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that was where a lot of my big dreams were born.
Was during that time.
Yeah.
After, yeah.
I was like, if I have to live without my mom, that's
That, it so could have went, in any direction. And kudos to you, because at 16, losing, both a mom and a stepdad that obviously you were pretty attached to, taking over, where your father left off and whatever, and then to lose them both at the same time unexpectedly. That's gotta be shocking, because it's, a couple years of high school left, and you went to college, and then spent time, in other states and doing whatever, and you went into your concierge business in the hotel, and life just kind of went on and on and on, right? Your husband.
Yeah. When I returned to Austin in 2013, and so we're going on 6.5 years now.
Wow.
And at my job, we both worked at the Longhorn Village retirement community, and so I was at the concierge desk, and he would come up and visit and speak with me, and I was very professional. Yes, sir. But then I was like, is he flirting with me?
It's interesting sometimes. Our it's going to be your old, just a lovable little creature, and it's so intuitive, and we can learn so much from them. And your work is being that life breather. Speak love. Is that how you say it? Speak love.
Spread
Right?
love.
And spread love.
Spread love, speak life.
And where can you learn unconditional love, but with a child? There's no fear. There's no nothing. They depend 100% on mom or dad, right? And anybody. That's going to give them what they want. All they do is cry a little bit. Oh, come and get them, right? And so they know what that true meaning of unconditional love is, and they're an expression of it in every activity that they do. And as we get older, what happens? Times we lose it with life around us. We have traumas, like the trauma you experienced, and it's like, wow, I loved my mom so much, and my dad. It's like all of a sudden they're gone. You know, why is this? There's no reason for it, and it would kind of have a tendency to say, you know, what happens every time I get close to somebody and life is going great and there's a lot of love and exchanging, and then something drastic like that happens. It's like, oh, other lives. Have you noticed that dealing with some of your clients and stuff, to where they may have had some kind of trauma event and they stopped with relationships or stopped going into businesses or whatever because of the fear that they may lose out, right? It's like, oh, if I do this, then it's going to get taken away from me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
For some time, there was a wall, and I wouldn't let myself
go past that.
yeah,
Yeah.
get too close to somebody.
Yeah. Out of fear
Once you
that
put
they might go.
all of your happiness, and my whole family was in one person.
Right.
So yeah, of course, that's definitely affected me my whole life, and um, I have to constantly make sure that I'm not putting up that wall with my husband.
Right.
So yeah, I see that a lot, and yeah, when the accident happened, a lot of people were like, well, everything happens for a reason, and that's just the worst thing, when
It's the
and
last
that's
thing you want to hear,
yeah.
right? It's like, oh, it happens
Yeah.
for a reason. It's
Like,
like,
thanks, I'm
really? You're
16
over there,
years
I'm
old.
over here.
I'm 16 years old. I'm at my mom's funeral. Thanks. Yeah. I know people don't know what to say, but
Right.
that's just not what you want. Oh, good. So my mom's dead for a reason. That's
Right.
doesn't make me feel better.
No.
But
Looking back,
yes,
it made you,
yeah,
it's part of what made you who you are.
absolutely.
Right. So the audience wants to,
Right.
they want to see that in your face. They want to hear that in your voice, the sadness that you had at the trauma, but then how you overcome that by saying, okay, life goes on. And like you said, you wanted to dream. And so you made the dreams that you and your mom had shared together to happen and to go out and do those things. And it was kind of like taking a piece of her with you when you did that, right?
That's how
And
it was. Yes.
yeah. And sometimes that's enough drive to keep us going and going forward,
Hmm.
right? So tell us a little bit about why you named your business what it did. How did you come up with that name?
Spread Love, Speak Life is just, I feel like it summed it up. I feel like the most important thing that I would want to do is just to spread more love. And I feel like, if we can all start spreading more love in our own perspective areas and in our own homes, we could make the world a better place with love, and we could definitely make our lives better through the power of love. So, and it's so important to love ourselves, and you really can't love others without loving yourself. Right. Truly, I mean, if you love yourself, that's when you get that self confidence. But also, that's spreading love and speaking life. That's lifting other people up and giving them what they need at the time.
Right.
So yeah, trying to speak life into them to build them up. So spread love, speak life. That's how it came about.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take a little commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna talk more about what this speaking love is all about. Okay. So let's take our little break, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Thank you all for staying with us here. And we've been talking about my special guest today, and a little bit about who she is and how she got to where she was. And the name of her business is Speak Love.
Spread love.
Spread Love, Speak Life.
There you go.
You say that one 10 times in a row real fast. I don't think so, right? So we talk about that love, and what that actually means, and getting into the depth, of really learning how to love yourself, right? And that inner love. And if we don't have that expression in here, how are we going to express it out there? And so you can't be on the fence with it. You either have it or you don't, right? And so how does that? How can people take that into their daily lives? To really start learning how to love themselves. Can you give us our view on that as to what does that mean to love yourself in your words?
Okay. Yeah. So loving myself, I feel like it has to start in the morning and the mirror and just actually be able to engage. Even if, your critical mind has some things that they want to say, just constantly trying to refocus yourself back onto that love. And throughout your day, I would just say, continue to respect yourself and to walk tall and stand tall and smile as much as you can, and just keep continuing to think about those dreams and those goals that you want, because the more you have those in sight, the closer that you bring them to you. And I would say also just kind of having your own back, like you get what you tolerate, so don't tolerate the crap because you love yourself too much for that. And you start looking out for yourself more,
Right.
then you're able to love at a higher level to others.
So when you say in the morning you look in the mirror, do you like look in that mirror and say, "I love you, Chelsea," every morning? Do you say that?
I should every day.
Yes, we all should. I used to do that all the time. I don't do it as much as often, but it's a good habit to get into, to say,
Yeah.
"Hey, you, I love you. Hey, we're gonna have a great day today. I'm so grateful the sun is shining and it's a new day." And right, get excited about what's going on in your life, and have that gratitude first thing in the morning, right? And when you can start your day like that, instead of like, "Oh, it's another day," and it's like, "Oh my gosh,
Right.
well, I had so much to do. I don't know where to." So I think I'll just go back to bed, right? You see the difference? I mean, your whole physiology changes, right?
Yes.
So always be grateful for that day, and it's okay to tell yourself that you love yourself. You might
Right.
not like yourself as much as you love yourself, and there's a difference. So
Right,
share
and
with
you
her.
don't always have to say it.
No,
Someone once gave me a tip, and I did this for like 2 weeks in a row, and it was really good. It really helped me. She said, first thing when you get up in the morning, get up, look at yourself, look in the mirror, and just say yes. Yes, yes, and just say that 3 times, and brush your teeth and have a whole glass of water, and there you go.
and so
So
what difference did that
that's-
make? How did your life change after you did that for 2 weeks?
I guess it's just having that gratitude and starting the day off right,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
just bringing that positive energy to yourself early in the morning,
right.
because once you get going and things happen and you're late or you overslept like me, things can just
Right.
go negative fast. So just starting off on that positive note can make a big difference.
It's what happens first thing in the morning is usually what continues to happen the rest of the day. So if you can start that feeling good, you can take that into the rest of your day. So try this little tip and just go to that mirror and say yes, and maybe take it a step and say, "Yes, you got this. You can do it, right? You can be a better you today, right?"
That's right.
Yeah, and that's what I tell myself every day. I may not say I love you every day, but I do say, "Hey, it's time to go out and be that better you today than you were yesterday," right?
That's awesome. I love that about you.
So, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Always aspire to be a better person every day.
Yeah, it's and there is something that you can learn every day and be open to it. Keep an open mind. A lot of times we put ourselves in these little boxes and we call them comfort zones, right? And you know what's going to happen in that comfort zone, right? Because it's predictable. Good, you know what's in that comfort zone, right? And so you respond to that. But the brain also shuts down because it doesn't grow, it doesn't expand. It shrinks actually because there's nothing new coming in. And if you really want to keep your brain healthy, you got to put new stuff into it. Learn something new and different every day. Try something new and different every day. Just working things up a little bit. Instead of walking down the stairs forward, walk down backwards. Sleep on the other side of the bed. I'm serious. I'm no joking. Get out of those old habit things. It's going to feel weird at first, but if you don't move out of that comfort zone, you're going to get stuck, right? You'll be stuck right there. So don't be afraid to talk to yourself out loud. I always thought, oh my gosh, if you're talking to yourself, you're going crazy. They're going to commit you and everything. Well, the things that I learned through life and my experiences that helped me really grow and move beyond a lot of the old environmental programs and childhood programs was to talk out loud to myself. Right. When you start hearing these thoughts up here, you're bringing all your senses, express that anger and all this kind of stuff, and you just rant and rave, or you get excited about life and what you're going to do. Those are the feelings that get released, and it changes. And I'm here to tell you, you want the best life of your life? Start talking out loud to yourself about an event or somebody that's got you really upset and frustrated, and just start
laugh.
Yeah, the best laugh. Oh. Yeah, you get these thoughts out of here, and you're here. Yourself speak them, right? Pretty soon you're going to like, oh my gosh, because a thinking thought and a completely different, right? And that's why vision boards are important, and that's why, you know, we put these things out there so that we can bring in the other senses, your smell and speaking. All of that is necessary as a combination. So don't be afraid to be an expression of them, and speak it out loud. It's hilarious.
You know, statistically, if you speak out loud to yourself, statistically, you're more intelligent.
Oh, wow, I must be the intelligent person on the planet.
That's a fact. Yeah, I used to speak to my dog all the time, and that was kind of my excuse. And then I was like, I still speak to myself anyway.
You know, a few days ago I did a little show, you know, being in the face of the camera, right? Because basically here we are talking to each other. We happen to be sitting beside each other. Usually I'm in one spot and my guests are somewhere else on the planet, right? But we happen to be right here next to each other, which is kind of nice and fun.
On the planet.
On the planet. There you are. That's right. On the planet. And, you know, so you have that interaction. I lost where I was going to take that. But when you're
talking to yourself,
I'm talking to myself. You know, so being at the face of the camera, it's like we are talking to ourselves directly in there, and we see ourselves talking, right? And so when you're in the face of the camera, when you're going live, you're not standing on stage talking to a full audience out there. You're talking to people that are online, right? And they can see you, but you can't see them. So it's kind of a form of talking to yourself. So if you feel better about talking to yourself, put a picture up there. So if you got a message that you want to get to someone that they really ticked you off, put their picture up there, right? And then just give it to them, right? It'll make you feel better. You won't hurt their feelings, you know, whatever. But you get that anger and frustration out of you instead of storing them in your cells, where it doesn't create that health, right?
Right.
And then you could say, okay, to that other person, I really do love you. Sometimes I just don't like what you say or what you do. You, and I do respect you, right? And say that out loud to that picture as well. And it'll change a whole lot of different things, because you won't keep that side of you. And that's what happens to emotions when you keep building them inside without expressing them. So find a way to express that out loud when you're angry with someone and you don't want to go after a juggler and you don't want to get in their face, right? Then put a picture up, or just see them in your mind and just cut loose when you're by yourself. And I promise you, you will feel different in here.
Or write it down. Yeah, last week I wrote out an email, mad typing, and after I was down, I was like, I'm not gonna send this. I'm not gonna send it, and I just erased it all. But then it was gone.
Exactly, because
then I totally felt better, and I could just continue with my day.
You released it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty dating on an email, because you could have hit the send versus the delete. You know, that's whoa. That's
I didn't put the name and the
say draft. Woo woo. Who's this going to go to? Right? So that's good. Any way that you can express it.
Yeah, because I've written it, but then I'm like, this is negative. I don't want this in my journal.
Right. So. Yeah. Yeah. But it's releasing those feelings, and so when you do that, that is about speaking. You might be speaking, not doing it. With the act, those incorrect perceptions, so that you can continue to love yourself and be in that expression of it. And the next time you see that person, that's that thought or that event where those emotions came up aren't going to be there, so you can be in the present, in the moment with them, because you don't know, they may have been having a bad hair day, right?
Right. Well, and then also, love isn't always being friendly and agreeing with people, and sometimes love, it does take tough love. Right. Sometimes you do have to say the hard things, but it is about truth. Right. You are speaking truth, and you want to do your best to deliver it in a loving way, which is a challenge for me sometimes. Right. But yeah, love isn't always
pleasurable.
Easy.
So we've been talking about love and what that means, and tough love, right? So let's go into a little bit more detail. Yeah, with truth. Yeah, because the truth, without, you really can't have love without being truthful, because it's not unconditional. It has strings attached, or it's fake. Right? It's fake love.
That's one thing I recommend in my book, because we all have those limiting beliefs, and we can choose to think a certain way, and we can always choose to look at it from a different angle.
Right.
And so in my book, I have the readers write out their false beliefs and with the loving truth.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, so it can replace the negative beliefs, and if you're able to kind of transition from that negative to
the positive,
and a more supportive belief. So for example, when my mom died, I felt like,
right.
That just don't get too close to somebody because they leave. And after, I met my husband, and he started telling me, oh, well, I'm a family man, I'm a good guy. And I'm like, yeah, sure you are. That's what they all say,
We've heard that story before.
Okay, like, I'm going to believe that. And it turned out he was being truthful, and he was a good guy, has stuck by my side. And so I learned that not everyone leaves. Some people stay.
Right.
So that's my loving truth that I corrected that with.
Awesome. So what's the name of your book?
Life Breather.
Oh, okay.
Turn your vision into reality.
Turn your vision into reality.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Right? Is your book out, or is it still
summer 2020?
summer of 2020.
Yes.
That's only a few
Yeah,
months
this
away.
summer.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And you've shared to me a little bit about your book sometimes, but from what I understand how you're describing it, it's more of a workbook type of book versus a just read it, right? Is
Kind of both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it starts out with me telling my personal story and how my life kind of went, and then my philosophy on how
Okay.
love can make your life better every day, and why aren't we using the power of love? Because that's the greatest power there is, and
Yes.
that's the reason we're here. You know, it's like with the law of attraction, and a lot of people who have begun to do personal growth, who have studied the law of attraction or read the book or saw the movie The Secret. The law of attraction is about bringing those good things to us,
Right.
and being able to manifest things in your life. And it's bringing that energy, because it's all about the energy. The full form of energy is love.
That's right. The old
So-
saying says love conquers all, right?
Right. So, and you move. That's how you live your life. You move towards the things you love, and you move away from the things you don't love. So, why aren't we why aren't we making our lives better with love every day at home and with our children and at our workplaces? And why aren't we with this and loving our customers and showing that love and love marketing?
Right. Well,
How come we haven't done that?
yeah, that's
Love marketing.
that's a great question, right? Love marketing,
Right.
right? You
So,
know, and
yeah.
so it's so true. It's so true. What where there's love, there's peace, and there's harmony, and there's joy, and and it's trying to bring peace back into the world and everything. And so, but it's being able to focus and understand what that is. Sometimes
How do we do that?
and how do we do that? And that's by becoming that better you every day. What are you going to change? What are you going to do to step out of that comfort zone? How many people are in a job that they don't like? They totally despise, but they stay there because it's predictable and it pays the bills. But they're not happy.
Right.
So
They feel like they have no.
exactly.
Or they're
So
stuck.
they're stuck. Yeah. So what can you do? Especially if you're married, if you're a single person, you can just and fly, right? But if you've got a family that you're supporting and everything, it's not quite that jump. So you might have to get a little more articulate of what you're doing. So what can you do to make that job, that position that pays you, to be better, to enjoy more? What can you do to bring into that workforce? How can you bring into that job, right? How can you be an expression of being a better you every day around your fellow employees, or maybe you're the boss? I don't know, but how can you do that, right? And then start making that a happier place. And if it's still not giving you the gratification that you're looking for, then start putting it out there, in your mind with the vision. And when we come back from our little commercial break here in a minute, Chelsea's going to talk about having that vision, but being able to expand on that, right? And start putting that out there so that maybe you can transform yourself, and you can actually transition from being in that job that just doesn't quite cut it and move into another position to where now you're working in a field, whether it's your own business or it's in a field that you really love, that you're passionate about. Then it makes wanting to go to makes your home life happier. And two, we talked a little bit earlier about waking up in the morning, and what do we say, right? It starts your day, because how you start your day at home is how you start your day at work or at play. If you start in a nasty mood in the morning and you're on vacation, you're not going to have a fun-filled day, because it follows how you started it, right? So let's go ahead and take a little commercial, and when we come back, we'll talk about visions. back, and you're listening to the Beverly Zeimet Show with our guest here, Chelsea Lane Colley, and she was just talking about her book, and we're going to talk about vision. So, Chelsea, why don't you finish sharing about your book a little bit, and then tell us what this whole vision thing is all about.
All right. Well, yeah, so as I mentioned, my book is my personal story and my belief, my philosophy on how I believe in love, the power of love to solve our problems, and using love every day to make our life better. And the rest of my book is really kind of workbook format, and so it kind of it kind of zooms in onto where you are right now, and then kind of zooms way out to where you want to go, um, and then pretty much how do you get there. So for where you are right now, and that talks about a lot of your accomplishments and the things that you've done and the limiting beliefs that you have, and correcting those, like I had mentioned, with the loving truth, and having those beliefs and being able to transition from a negative space to a positive and more supportive space. And then you really figure out what are those dreams and get them all down on paper. So you start with your bucket list, and then
Oh, I got a big one of those.
yeah.
And my bucket list keeps getting bigger because I fill it up and I empty it, and it's like, oh, now I got 6 something else in there, you know?
Right. I made a list of 25. I'm like, I have way more than 25 things I want to do. So yeah, getting that bucket list, if there were no limits, you could do anything. And then being able to develop, okay, so if this is my life and this is what I want to do, where do I want to be in 20 years and beyond?
20 years. I got to think 20 years ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
means I'm going to be 90. Oh, that's going to
No,
be fun.
you are 45, and that's
And I'll be 45 in 20 more years. This is
exactly.
great. This is great. I've been 45 for a long time. And
Yeah, so just really getting specific about it. And so, if I'm 20 years older and I'm on a path towards achieving my whole bucket list, or I've achieved my whole bucket list, what does my life look like? And getting that big vision down on paper. And then it's just a matter of, okay, so if that's 20 years and beyond, then where do I need to be in 10 years to person? And where do I need to be in 5 years to achieve that 10-year person? And it's not only what do I need to achieve, but who do I need to become?
Be that best you, right?
In the process, right.
There you go.
What's about now. And so it's just working it backwards, and the book gives you a nice, pretty format to do that in. Some food for thought, and just to kind of help you on your way. So, from 5 years to 2 years to 1 year to 6 months to 12 weeks to 1 month, 1 week, 1 day.
Wow. Are you going to have
So,
courses
all
to
the way
go
down.
with that book so that and see you live and start
Yeah.
that whole process?
Yeah, it's in the works.
All right, that's good.
We're on
That'd
our
be
way.
Great.
It's a process. We're gonna get there. So.
Yeah. I think a lot of our audience, are visual. People are really visual. I know I am. I
Yes.
learned show me, right? But I'm not from Missouri, the show me state, right? But I learned so much faster when you can show me. You can talk about it, and you can see it out there and everything. You can have that vision. But a lot of times it's okay. I understand that part, but how do I get there? I'm stuck. What's the step I need to take? And Chelsea's really good about, explaining, this is the step. Let me take you by the hand. This is the first step. This is the second step. And then it's like, oh, wow. Because sometimes it's hard to dream 20 years out, right? So sometimes we have
things. Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to start dreaming a little closer to home. But and those dreams need to be believable. So we talked about trusting and belief, right? So it's believable. You have to believe that you can accomplish that 20-year goal. Does it have to take 20 years to get there? No, you can get there in a lot shorter time. But you've got to start somewhere.
It doesn't have to be realistic, but you do have to believe.
That, yeah. So 20 years from now, it's okay to maybe not be realistic, but it's a dream. That's why they call it a dream, and it's a vision, right? But when we start reeling backwards, when you start looking 5 years out and 1 year out, and then what are you moving back into 6 months or something, right?
Yeah,
so
all the way down.
Now it's coming back into reality, because she'll take you back. What do you need to do tomorrow to reach that month goal? Then to reach the 3 months and the 6 months, and as she progresses. And pretty soon you're going to find that 20-year dream out there. It might show up in 7 years instead of 20, right?
That's true.
Yeah, so it's how fast you want to work, or how slow you want to work, or if you want to work at all.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this vision thing. What's the best way to get those visions into reality?
Well, we both talk about it all the time. You talk about it. Just the best way to illustrate that vision is just to get that up on your wall and make a vision board, and just to get those images that portray who you want to be, what you want to become, what you want to have, and just to get that up there. I have an interesting story. So my husband and I were trying to get pregnant it was over 3 years. And so as I decided I was going to make my vision board, and it's actually right there.
Yeah, it's
and
hanging up over here.
that one right there. And I had a positive pregnancy test on it and a big pregnant belly on it, and put it up there. And then I'm in my office, or I'm working downstairs, and it's just like I didn't look at it. But here we are, it was 4 months later, and I got pregnant. And I invited Sean into my office, and I was like, babe, I'm pregnant. And I gave him the test, and he was like, I knew you were. And I was like, what? And he was like, it's coming true. And I was like, what? And he was like, you're bored.
Right.
And I turned around, I had my test in my hand, and there's my test on my wall, and I was like, wow. Wow, that happened. So make a vision board and put bigger and better things than you can even dream, because you put them up there, you're going to have them.
It's been scientifically proven that when you take things out of here and you put them on paper, you write things down, right? You put them out in pictures. Pictures speak louder than words. That's been proven, right? Successful people all have had vision boards. They've taken it out of here and put it down on paper, right? They put it out there. and go and talk to very successful people and ask them, and they'll say, oh yeah, you know, they have a vision board for business, they have one for personal life, they have one for vacation, you know. So don't just limit things. You have to pile on. Oh my God, it don't all fit on here, right? So separate it, because your relationship is totally different from your business life and your health. You know, what's going on inside here, what's going on with your health. You can have a vision board for health,
Right.
and see what's out there,
Or
right?
just kind of like the sections in the book, you know, like
Right.
the 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You're like, okay, this is where I'm going. I got this one now.
Yeah.
Now we're working on this one.
Oh, I'm getting closer to this
Yeah.
one. Well, that 20 years looks like it's getting closer.
It's going to happen faster than that. And
Yeah.
you were talking also about, you know, getting that vision and being able to see things and being
Right.
able to plan when you're that, you know, vision oriented and picture oriented. And so there's a lot of things I want to do in developing products. So
But
stay
it all
tuned
starts.
over the next
It all
couple
starts
years.
with one dream, right?
Right. One
one
big
dream.
dream.
That's right. And Chelsea's going to help you find that one big dream and help you get to that, and then you can take the rest off, you know, and run with as many dreams as you want. You're not limited. The universe is open to everything, right? There are no limitations except what you build up here between these 6 inches,
That's right.
right? Right? If you can think it and you can believe it, you can have it,
Right.
right? So becoming that better you every day, little by little, is what makes a difference. So Chelsea, if our listeners here would like to get in contact with you and be on a list for your book and stuff, how can they reach you? What can they do to, you know, get on a mailing list, or at least have contact information where you can reach out to them?
Great. Right now, my website is under construction. Our landing page is almost done. It's going to be done probably by the end of March. But if you want to just go to my page on Facebook, I'll have all of the updates on there. It's called Be a Life Breather. Be a Life Breather.
We'll put that link up on the top,
Yeah.
so that you can, you know, connect with that page.
Yeah, my Facebook fan page. So I put all the updates on there. We'll put all the links on there. That landing page that we're doing, that will be a free gift that will be up here in the next few weeks. So I would say by April 1st, it will be there for sure. And you are welcome to go on and get that free gift. And yeah, so working on that, the recording, the
Videos.
doing. I'm losing track. Working on that website and promoting the book and being able to go and speak about it on different places. So I'm excited. Very excited.
Okay, well, Chelsea, thank you so much for being here. Comment below if you want to know more about Chelsea. Reach out to her on Facebook. Reach out to her in Messenger. Comment below here, because we'll be looking at these comments. If you want to know more about what we do on the Beverly Zeimet Show, you know, comment below here. You can also go to my page, and we have links. You want to be a speaker? Comment below. Hey, how do I become a speaker? How do we get on this show, right? And everyone has that beautiful message